Three, two, one.
Hello, everybody! Welcome to another episode of Arkosaurs Evolved. Here, we, a group of early career paleontologists, take a look at the weird and wacky creatures found in Ark Survival Evolved and compare them to their real world counterparts. Sometimes they get crazier, sometimes they get more tame, sometimes it's a mix of both. And today, we have a rather special synapsid once again. Before we introduce it, though, we should probably introduce ourselves. I am Dr. Dino, not an actual doctor, but I am a paleontologist currently doing field work out in the Badlands of Wyoming. And yes, it is cold and it is dry,
Yeah.
but I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
To my left is...
My name is Gojira. I am a master's student at the University of Bristol.
And I am Dominic, or Dinodom. I am currently nowhere, but I am a... What would you classify me as? A non-higher education? Preparator, yeah, but I am a paleontologist following the other line, which is I do not take a higher education. I instead go where I am needed and get experience via there. That's the best way to describe it, I think.
He goes where the wind blows.
Yes. Which might be out west, might be the Smithsonian this summer. That's something I'm looking into, actually.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yes. I have connections there for some reason.
And together, we are... the Bone
The Bone Hat!
I don't know what that was, but okay.
My computer definitely didn't just fall.
That was our best one yet.
Extra surprise in the middle there, I guess. Well,
yes.
shall we introduce our non-dinosaur du jour?
Our space heater.
Yes, we should.
I think it's a good space heater.
It is a great space heater, but it is a space heater. It's a space... Guys, look. The normal space heater. Nothing odd about this space heater.
Average space heater who refuses to be on more than the lowest texture settings for some reason, but we'll survive.
Why is its face... I've never noticed this. Why is its face so long? That's not normal for Dimension. Its face is long, right?
It looks okay to me, but...
It's a little... Yeah, like the maxilla and premaxilla do look a little stretched.
Yes, it looks... Otherwise, its face looks fine. Its feet are wrong. I'm almost positive, though. I'm almost positive its feet are wrong. I don't think it has 5 toes.
It has
it
5
does.
toes on the front.
It has 5 toes on the back. Too. Never mind. I'm just an idiot.
It has 4 on the back.
It should have 5.
Oh, wait, never mind. Nope, there's one hiding back there.
Because I'm looking at the skeleton currently. But yes, everyone, this is Dimetrodon. This is 2 different teeth.
Yep,
2 different measures of teeth.
Yeah.
Yep, 2 measures of teeth.
Which is in reference to the fact that it is...
Oh, well, really quick, I find it really funny that this one over here is beefing with a Dimetrodon. Who we will never get the name confused for.
Oh god, yeah. But yes. Everyone, this is Dimetrodon, which is a weird... Actually, it's not even that... It is the starter of a theme that happens during the early Permian and, for some reason, early Triassic, where reptiles and synapsids and other things and amphibians and everything, for some reason, grows a sail. We know why this happens, because a frog does it. A lot of synapsids do it.
There are a lot of hypotheses. I don't know if any of them are confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like the 2 main ones are thermoregulation and sexual display.
The weird thing is, but why... It can't just be sexual display if a bunch of unrelated creatures are doing it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it may be sexually dimorphic. Like, some specimens have thicker bones and larger scales than others, so maybe this one is a male.
yeah, then why does
I don't know if that's known for Dimetrodon.
it's not?
Because, fun fact, folks, despite this being one of the oldest creatures we've covered so far,
It's the second
yeah, one of
oldest,
the
actually.
oldest.
Second oldest.
Well, it's contemporaneous with Diplocaulus.
Yes, but Diplocalus is older, has been found older than.
You're right, I forgot. It's the weird thing that never went extinct until it did.
Yes.
But anyway, despite this guy being so old, we have a lot of Dimetrodon.
Very
We
much
have a
so.
ton of individuals.
Oh,
We have a bunch of species.
11?
So many.
I think it's 11.
1,
It's
2,
11
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 valid species.
Jeez.
Well, 13 valid species. Kempe is possibly a nomen dubium.
The 13
Which,
valid
if you know
species is
anything about,
insane.
or if you know anything about any fossil taxa, that's crazy. Let alone for any animal this old.
How many species of do we have 13 species of Panthera?
Let me check.
I believe I believe it's actually pretty close to Panthera, which is
Hmm,
insane. Living species, by the way, living. Because I know we have more that are extinct.
Because, I mean,
Maybe.
like, if we're counting extinct, there's 18, but if it's just extant, we have 1, 2,
Extant, I believe it's 13 or 11.
5,
5? I thought it's more than that.
2, 3, 4. Yeah, lion, tiger, jaguar, leopard, and snow leopard.
I thought cougar was also Panthera.
Huh.
Nope. It is
No.
not.
That's me then wrong. But yeah, so it's insane. And the fossil record is
Well,
of course.
that might be the species count for Felis. There's a lot of wildcat species.
Well, I'm just doing Panthera in general. I'm just doing the genera.
There's currently 7 accepted species of Felis.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so closer.
But yeah, so Dimetrodon, there's probably more species of it, and this is one of the. Now, mind you, if this was living today, I guarantee these would be split up into a bunch of genera.
Oh,
I
they would.
guarantee.
Almost certainly, because they are
The size
really
range,
diverse. There are a few good images. We'll pop up a few right now.
a really good one.
There are massive size differences, differences in the skull, differences in the sail, differences in the way they walk.
Oh yeah, there's so many.
It's crazy.
And then that's not including because species today are also determined by like if we didn't actually this would be this is a good episode to talk about species and genera and how they are described today versus extinct species. Species.
Oh, you mean however we feel like it?
Well, yes. Today is very much because species can be what? Because a fox and a wolf skull are virtually the same.
Unless you're familiar with anatomy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Virtually. But
Are you wanting to get into species concepts? Is that what you're wanting to do?
yes, that's what or like for example, gorilla. The lowland gorilla is virtually the same as the
Which
other
one?
species.
Eastern
Exactly.
or Western?
They're virtually the same, but they are classified as different things. Now, mind you, that's probably for endangered species stuff, which is also a thing that we do. We split things up so that they're covered by the Endangered Species Act, and such. But we also, for behavior and color and location, species get split. And genetic diversity. If something's very slightly genetically diverse, even if their skeletal anatomy is the exact same, they're different species. Whereas biologically, Dimetrodon, where you can have.
So maybe to put this in more official terms,
Yes.
in biology, we classify animals in different ways depending on the information we have, and in some cases, personal biases. This has led to a variety of what are called species concepts.
Yes.
They're really just a way of classifying animals based on different traits that we know about them. There's the biological species concept, which you were probably taught in high school. If two animals can breed, they're the same species.
Eh.
This works often, but not always, because Homo sapiens and Homo neanderthalensis could interbreed. Tigers and lions can interbreed. Many
But
species of crocodilians can interbreed.
tigers and lions, I believe the term is viable offspring, because tigers and lions do not make viable offspring. They make
I've heard that some combinations may be viable.
okay, because the better example will be grizzly bear and polar bear and black bear,
Yeah.
because all
Yes,
three of those
to
can
make
interbreed
roller
and make
bears.
viable offspring.
Yeah, that's fair. But that's the biological species concept. In paleontology, we often use the morphological species concept, which is
We only
basically
use that.
measuring the bones and see how similar they are, and if they are outside of a certain range, they're probably a different species
Or even genus.
or genus. But since we don't have DNA, it's really hard to tell. You can also test this with DNA. You can see if they're in the same species or closest relatives.
We even like recently extinct creatures. It's hard time because how many? There's what, 2 species of mammoth? Actually, I'm lying. How many species of mammothus are there? It's
A
not.
lot.
It's a lot, yeah. But that's but like we have again. Yeah, even recently extinct creatures that we have DNA for, like for example, we recently discovered a mummy of a saber-toothed cat cub. That's going to give us quite a bit of DNA evidence, but I doubt that will
Hopefully.
give us much more information about it besides where it goes on the tree, and that's really it.
I mean, now we have, well, we do have a good idea of what their color is, so
Yes, but we kind of
Yeah,
also knew
that's
that
pretty
from
neat.
cave paintings. Actually, no, Smilodon wasn't from cave paintings. That's Irish elk.
Well, this isn't
cave
Smilodon,
leaves
it's
are.
Homotherium.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's on the
this,
I
yeah,
forgot.
it's Homotherium.
Yep, I forgot.
Yeah. And I think it's cave lions that are mainly in cave paintings, so
You're correct. Yeah,
Probably.
I'm mixing up my cats.
get good.
But
Yeah.
anyway, there's a lot of ways to judge a species, and most, well, frankly, all of them are arbitrary, depending on what we need. It's life is super messy. Biology is crazy messy, and humans have a desire, if not a need, to try to categorize things. And when you're trying to categorize something messy, your categorizations get messy. It's just inevitable.
The other thing is that it's also completely different between multiple groups. I'm almost positive single-celled organisms have a different way of doing it, and plants definitely have a different way of doing it.
Pretty sure.
I just died, so I didn't hear what you said, but I agree with you.
Fungi, too.
Oh, fungi have a different
It's-
way of doing it, yeah.
Yes.
Biology is insane.
Yes.
And this is one such insane creature.
Mhm.
It is.
Out of
It is.
curiosity, do we want to try to go through all of the species, or should we
I
just
guess.
go over?
Yeah, why not? It's Phylogenum, I guess. So Gojira,
Yeah.
start Phylogenum time.
Alright, well, if we're going up in phylogeny, well, if you don't know much about dinosaurs and you look at Dimetrodon, you would be okay to assume this is another dinosaur. But this is not the case. This is not an Arkosaur. This is actually what we call a synapsid. This is the group of animals that include all mammals like humans, lions, elephants, everything, and their extinct relatives. And Dimetrodon is one of those extinct relatives. It is in the family Phenocodontidae, which, they get small to pretty large. They're in the late Pennsylvanian to middle Permian, and they have a subfamily known as Phenocodontidae, which include, well, Dimetrodon. And the thing with spinacontodontoids is they're typically labeled as paleosaurs, which, yeah, like, is basically a term to describe, it's an older term to talk about these kinds of mammal-like reptiles, so to speak, but because they don't include the more advanced synapsids like therapsids, they're what we call a paraphyletic term. It's a paraphyletic group, and it's kind of fallen out of favor. And for Dimetrodon itself, there are, again, 11 species, and they are just diverse as There's Dimetrodon angolenus from Texas, Dimetrodon borealis, at this time of year, at this time of day, at this part of the country, localized entirely within the Prince Edward Island. Dimetrodon Simpsons reference. Dimetrodon borealis, aurora borealis.
I know
place,
I know the
at this
reference.
time?
It's just is really from Prince Edward Island.
Yeah, it's in Prince Edward Island.
Dimetrodon's everywhere.
Yeah, and there's Dimetrodon buniorum from Texas, Dimetrodon dolovianus from Texas, Dimetrodon homogeneous from Texas, Dimetrodon grandis from, you guessed it, Texas and Oklahoma, the big guy. There's Dimetrodon campe, which is a possible nomen dubium, which, yeah, and it is from Texas. Dimetrodon limbatus from Texas and Oklahoma and possibly Ohio, but that remains unverified. Dimetrodon lumisi from Texas and Oklahoma, and let's just say Dimetrodon macrospondylus, Dimetrodon milleri, Dimetrodon natalis. All three of those are from Texas. Dimetrodon occidentalis is from Arizona, Mexico, and Utah. And Dimetrodon teutonus is from Germany.
Too many.
Very much too many.
So all that to say, this thing was 1, everywhere, 2, super diverse, and how big of a time range are we talking for the genus?
Huge.
From the Ciceralian to the Guadalupian, so about 295 to 270 million years ago.
About 15 million years. Probably 25 million years. Which is actually not the biggest time range. It's
for
huge,
a single
but...
genus?
That's
pretty impressive.
Yeah, unless you're a clam, and then it's 1 billion or whatever. That's not 1 billion. I think it's 500 million is the muscle, whatever it is, which is really funny.
But yeah, super diverse everywhere. I don't think we can really say this one is based on a particular species.
It's probably a homogulation of all of them. Except, homogenization. That's the word. Its tail is also too long, which is something I've noticed. It's way too long.
Yeah, but...
And,
yeah.
Ooh, you
Yes.
can
Go ahead.
finish. You can finish what you want. I gotta...
I was just saying, yeah.
And, yeah. And also another thing about Dimetrodon and the spinacodontids is they actually show the very first signs of dental differentiation. Because with reptiles like dinosaurs, like they're what we call homodonts, they only have 1, 2, maybe 3 kinds of teeth in their mouths, whereas
homodont is 1.
Yeah.
And actually a lot of later dinosaurs changed that.
Yeah, that's true. Whereas mammals have like many different kinds of teeth. And Dimetrodon is actually a really good example of those first signs of dental differentiation. They have a very enlarged maxilla. They have much larger canine teeth compared to their other teeth. They have a keel on the angular bone, which basically like it's related to ear evolution,
Yeah.
and there's the coronoid eminence, which reflects a much more powerful bite.
And we're just going to have a skull on screen with arrows pointing to all the relevant bits.
Yep.
Yes. Well, there's actually a great diagram of its skull in every view on Wikipedia, which I will probably send to the chat.
And, well, as for what it was doing with those teeth, biting.
Eating
Hard.
Diplocaulus.
And a Dilophosaurus.
I don't know.
Yes.
I actually don't think that's true. I don't think a Dilophosaurus and Dimetrodon look together. I think that's a thing that was created for walking with monsters.
Let me double check.
That's something I've heard.
Species
I don't
of
know if that's true.
Dimetrodon?
That's something I've
No,
heard.
the Red Beds assemblage has Dimetrodon, and it also has a Dilophosaurus and
I am wrong.
the
Then.
Adectes.
Yeah. But yes. Oh
Well,
no, that's
red
right.
beds
Dilophosaurus
just
and Dimetrodon
means-
aren't related to each other at all. That's what it is.
Well, let's see. They overlap in time, and I know there are Adaphosaurus from Germany.
I also so I might be confusing
This-
that Dilophosaurus is not related to Dimetrodon at all. No, it's still Sphenocomorphia. Never mind. It's an Adaphosaurid. That's helpful.
Yeah.
Why do you? Oh, you mean pavement lizard? Sorry, I just realized what Dilophosaurus
But
means
yeah.
pavement lizard.
They were not closely related. Their similar scales are convergent evolution, but Adaphosaurus was probably a principal prey item for Dimetrodon.
Yeah, this is probably the top predator of its time. At least Grandis was.
Though I will say, with Walking with Monsters, they do portray them living in like a very like arid, cold environment when these guys were basically living in swamps in
Yeah.
reality.
Yep, hence why they are in a swamp today.
Yeah. I also did the size. I didn't realize the full size range. The full size range of Dimetrodon species is 2 feet to 20 feet,
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
which is in.
Sorry, I was just trying to get a.
Ooh,
Size.
God.
I think these are a little too big.
They might be 20 feet long.
Really?
Yeah. We have our handy dandy measuring tool.
If I can spawn in a handy dandy measuring tool. Give me
Yes.
a second. I need to make an axe.
So yes. The other things about Dimetrodon are, we know a lot about it. Quite a
Yes.
lot about it for something so old. Gojira mentioned earlier sexual dimorphism. Sexual
Sexual
dimorphism,
dimorphism.
I can speak, is theorized in Dimetrodon, but not with its sail. It's with its robustness of the bones.
Yes, like, I mean, thicker bones, longer skulls, and a more pronounced maxillary step.
Yeah. That might mean male or female. That maybe I'm hesitant to say anything this old is guaranteed sexual dimorphic. I can't sexually dimorphic. Even with the amount of sample
can't
size we
sexually
have.
dimorphic.
Hey, we're among
Let
friends
it
here.
not be.
It's
Why?
okay.
But yes. Now, other things with Dimorphodon, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing that all episode.
No, I'm gonna be doing that. You guys have been fine. Dimetrodon are, it's lives with a lot of creatures. I'm not gonna try to pronounce any of them besides Diplocaulus and Earyops, but
Oh, it lived with Eriops?
it did live with the Earyops. With
Eriops would be a fun addition to the game.
Earyops is a weird. It's a head with legs.
It is
Yeah.
so cool.
And it's not even the worst head with legs.
Hmm.
I forgot these guys have a horrible turn radius.
They do.
So
They're also really slow, which
Oh,
I don't believe Dimetrodon should be.
Let's see if we have. I don't know if we have access to that or we have any studies on that. But I don't know. I think the probably correct way is it being the way that it's portrayed in Walking with Monsters, which is the weird, like, almost iguana run that it has.
Yeah,
Uh, I thought
because
Which,
there were some studies that came out more recently that suggested it was at least more upright and faster.
maybe.
I think there was like a
That thing's not even 20 feet long.
there
Never
was a
mind.
very recent study that suggested they may have actually been sprawling all along.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I sadly, let's see if I have some references in here using my magical. Oh, yeah, I have just so many papers. Um,
Well, it's trying to decide if it's lowest or second lowest poly.
it's yeah. It
Jeez.
also lives with Ophicodon, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. Again, the red beds are a very, very phosphorus thing, and I also guarantee the more we learn the more beds we find in like Africa and South America of this time period, we'll probably find more Dimetrodon. Oh my, it
I don't
is
like how much it's flickering. I'm gonna try to find a good model online and just put that on the screen.
having a seizure, which I hope is just a Dimetrodon thing, because everything else seems to be fine.
So
Knock on wood. Though also, for a quick height check, so the fin is about 2 meters tall and the body is just shy of 6 meters long.
Let me check if we have anything. Sail.
Which
Mm,
that feels too big for me or to me.
I don't know if I have a size. I don't have a height. Oh, it also shouldn't have scales on its underside. Oh, no, it shouldn't. It should have scales, and it should have scoots on its underside. So we do have skin of its close relative, Estemenosuchus.
Close relative?
yeah,
A
it's
related animal.
its lineage is fairly distant. Like it has like smooth skin and it had glands, but it may not be with Dimetrodon due to how distantly related they are. But
Correct.
they could have had more squame-like scales. But
Maybe.
Hmm.
I'm trying to see if I can find a. I can't find a good size for the sail, but I think that's actually correct for Grandis. Weirdly.
also, though I don't like the side sails. I think those look dumb.
Well, yeah, but that's an arc thing, sadly.
So, as Dominic was saying, we do know quite a lot about Dimetrodon, and it. I cannot speak either.
Do you
It
want to talk?
it
You continue
represents
first.
it represents a really good benchmark on the kind of transition between reptiles and mammals because it has a lot of adaptations that show they were kind of knocking on the door with mammalian evolution. They had nasoturbinals in the inside surface of the nasal sections of the skull, so they had like these little folds in their noses that actually increase the area of the tissue that detects odors, and it may have actually helped warm the air before they breathed it because they may have supported mucous membranes. And as for the
So,
giant,
sorry, super quick. I really don't like what's going on with the textures. So I'm gonna find an image of a Dimetrodon to put up on screen, and
That's
we're gonna
fine.
have that for a visual.
That's fine.
yeah,
There's not much. Uh, there is actually one thing I want to talk about the sail, which is do we want to talk about the different styles of sail reconstruction that has been over the years?
I
Which is,
mean, like, I was gonna do jaw joints and ears first,
oh yeah,
but
well, yeah, do that first. But I'm saying in general, because this will
sure.
probably be cut as well.
So yes, so alongside the nasal adaptations, they also have pretty distinct jaw joints and ears. They actually have a ridge at the back of the jaw called the reflected lamina, which is found in the articular bone, and it connects to the quadrate that forms the jaw joint. Now, in later mammalian ancestors, like, they're separated from the jaw joint, whereas in Dimetrodon, they were still kind of connected, so it's kind of a middle point. And whereas the malleus bone in the middle ear was developed from the articular. So it kind of shows a pretty interesting little tidbit on the transition between reptiles and mammals.
Yeah. Oh, and for everyone that wonders why we've cut and now we don't see Ark anymore, Doc's game decided to have a seizure, so now you get a picture of a skeleton for the rest of the video.
Yeah, we don't want to cause any of you to have a seizure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
enjoy this Dimetrodon skeletal drawing by Scott Hartman.
Which
This
actually
may-
looks a lot better.
It does. It does. This may also be the thing for the next few videos, as we're batch recording before the holidays because there's no way we're going to be able to record during December. Or not
Yes.
often. So.
At least late November, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Doc has his little train railroad job going on. Dominic is looking where the wind blows, and I'm getting ready for my exams and like getting ready to head home back to America for the winter.
Emily. Yeah.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yes. But yeah, so as Goji was mentioning about the ears and this, it's approaching mammal, but not quite.
Mhm.
Does it has an internal ear? Well, does Dimetrodon have an external ear? I don't think so, right?
I don't
I'm
think
not sure. It has. It
Just
still
like-
has an angular and a quadrate,
yes.
so it might not have developed external ears yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
I think the first evidence we have for that is in later therapsids.
Does
Yes.
Gorgonopsid have it? Or sorry, does it in Transevia, not Gorgonopsid?
I mean-
I'm not sure.
Let's see. Let me
Yes,
look at my
Transavia.
lecture notes that
Oh yeah, you have yes, you have lecture notes from this. Oh my god, this is very helpful. Hopefully you roll Prolovia next, actually.
That'd actually be really neat.
I like
Yeah.
Prolovia.
I think external ears came later.
Okay, that makes sense. But yeah.
To be fair, it is kind of hard to determine when exactly they appear.
Yes, I know, but also, actually, this image does show something interesting. There have been many different reconstructions of Dimetrodon's sail over the years. There have been the early ones, which have it as basically just a flat little sail, with very skin, and then recently, there have been things showing that maybe parts of it have been showing. I know there's also some things that it wasn't as drastic as a change from the body, so it more sloped into the sail instead of being a big cutoff when it meets the body. And the I think the most recent and accepted design is this, where just the tips are not connected. And I think we have evidence of that, right?
Which is really weird. But to be fair, it's a really weird animal.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Sure. Yes. It also is part of a theme that happens during the early Permian, where a lot of unrelated animals start growing sails. This happens in a lot of synapses, which leads to a theory that maybe the sail was to help even if it wasn't used for full thermal regulation, which we'll talk about when we get to in-game stuff. The sail was there to help transition from true cold-blooded to true warm-blooded, even though those aren't really real terms. Those are more of a slider.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really trust that because there's an animal called Paleostrinax, the frog, that grows a sail for some reason, which is a very cool little amphibian, which for some reason has a sail. Now, I have no idea why it has a sail, and it's not the only one that has it. But a lot of animals during this time grow sails. It's kind of very similar to what happens in the early Jurassic, where a bunch of early theropods that are unrelated grow things on their head. It's just a theme that happens, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the fashion of the times.
Or when mammals all decide to become horses.
Yeah. I don't know what they were thinking with the sails. They look like they are so tacky.
The extra sails do not look great. Otherwise, it looks fine, I think. I also keep forgetting how spindly Dimetrodon's tail actually is.
And yeah.
Do we have anything else to say about the real animal, or should we transition to the Ark?
I like the real animal. It used to be my favorite.
Well, I got two things. One, there is some debate on certain animals with big neural spines on whether it was like a sail with thin skin on it or a big muscular hump. Like Tyrannosaurus, Spinosaurus, Acrocanthosaurus, they've all had that debate. For Dimetrodon, we can safely say it was just a thin sail with skin on the bones, because we have broken neural spines that healed back in place, and that can only happen if the skin was thin enough and tight enough that it would hold those neural spines together.
Yeah, we have multiple different evidences of this, and I believe that's why we think the tops weren't covered, because we have evidence of those breaking and not healing correctly.
Yes, correct. And two, Dimetrodon has been through quite a lot of popular culture.
That's true.
So much.
The most popular ones are Walking with Monsters, where it was given its 100% canon design. That is that is what its colors look like. I do not make the rules, I just enforce them.
When we react to Walking with Monsters, when our reacts aren't out by this point, but when we get there, as we have slowly...
I've been thinking of editing the first one tonight.
Oh, that'd be fun. If you didn't know, we've reacted to the first 2 episodes of Walking with Dinosaurs.
Yes.
And we're going to try to go through all of those documentaries, and then maybe some more.
Yes.
Except for Walking with Cavemen, because it's garbage.
Hey now, hey.
It's not that bad.
It's not
yes, it is.
You got no taste, Mr.
I do have taste. I do not like them saying, guys, Neanderthals have no concept of death.
I'm sorry, Mr. Ooh, I hate the jellyfish because it looks like a jellyfish.
Jellyfish are dumb.
But anyways, aside from Walking with Monsters, it has also appeared in, most recently, Jurassic World Dominion, which the design is okay-ish. Like its head is too T-Rex-like, and I'm not a fan of the scoots on it. It also
like really quick, my internet crapped out for a moment. Here is the Walking with Monsters.
God,
I can
it's so pretty.
show these now.
God, it's so pretty. It's so pretty.
It is so awesome.
Than I remember.
I mean, I think that's just its more fighting stance or dominance posture, because they mainly
they're hissing at each other.
And let's see, they also appeared in Zoo Tycoon 2 in the Extinct Animals expansion pack, which
here's the Jurassic World Dominion one.
I like the
Dominion.
I'm not a huge on it. I like the sail. I just don't like the head, and I really don't like the scoots.
Its tail is also too long again.
Way too long. It also
the Zoo Tycoon one looks funky.
Yeah, it doesn't look the best, but in Zoo Tycoon 2, but it has its charm.
Yeah.
It also appeared in Land Before Time for a
brief time. God!
Well, that's true.
And Dinosaur Train, and let's see.
I'm trying to show these on screen. Can you go a tiny bit slower?
That's a creature that what the f*** is that?
Zoo Tycoon 2 Dimetrodon.
Why is its sail
Okay.
placed about 20 inches where it should be? Why?
I don't know. It
Its
just
sail
reused
back.
the lizard rig.
It's just an
Um,
early Conky Venator, you know?
yeah.
And
Yeah,
Okay, there's Land Before Time. What was next?
I think that
dinosaur train, and finally, it
Dinosaur Train
appeared
first. Dinosaur.
in yes.
I can only go so fast.
Ah,
it
that's
also
right.
has there's a Dimetrodon in Warhammer that I own.
Yes. And last but not
Thanks,
least,
Internet, for not working anymore. Thank you
and
very much.
last but not least, it was in Fantasia.
I think
Okay.
there's probably there was supposed to be a Dimetrodon in Primeval as well, but they decided against it in favor of Inotransevia.
Which I think was the right call because that in
Yes.
But
Australasia
that's
is
unhelpful.
canon in aw.
Canon in Australasia.
Yeah, that is canon in Australasia. I don't care if it's
I-
too big, I don't care if it's 10 times as bloodthirsty, that design is peak.
It also has a
I
really
will
good
say
ratio.
it's not official, but shout out to the modders who created a Dimetrodon for Path of Titans.
Yes.
Yes,
Actually,
Pathfinder.
one of the best representations I've ever seen. If it will load,
It
I'll
won't.
show it. If not, I'll
Um,
edit it in later.
yes,
Yeah.
and the other thing about Dimetrodon is its in-game function. It has one function. It is a space heater.
Oh, are we moving to the Arc version?
Yep.
Well, you wait for something. Yeah. So
Okay.
I believe its only function is that it's a space heater. Dimetrodon has a funny ability where it regulates temperature around it, which is a neat tie to what it probably maybe the spine was
Mhm.
for. God, you look like an iguana. Why are you so saggy? Why is your skin so saggy, sir?
Hey, don't rag on him too much. He tends to snack. His wife dumped him. He just snacks a little more, and he's doing his weight loss journey. It's not
Yeah.
his fault he
I-
got saggy skin.
Yes.
I will say, not only is it a space heater, it is a very localized space heater. So a lot of people use them to hatch eggs.
Yes.
They're a non-powered alternative to air conditioners.
Which is very helpful.
Although you do need to make sure to manually set their aggression to passive, otherwise they will kill any baby that comes near.
Oh, should we read the dossier?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
I can do that. I have it open.
You are Mr. Paleozoic.
I am. Dimetrodon. Oh, we also didn't speak about what its name means in Ark. We don't know. It's Calorector.
Here,
Something.
can you write it in the
I did.
chat?
I did.
Oh,
I just did.
caloric.
I
I'm
don't-
betting it's a portmanteau of like caloris and erector.
I'm
So like
assuming-
temperature setter or temperature
Uh,
raiser.
Maybe. Dimetrodon Calorector is much calmer predator than most of the island. Because it lives off smaller prey than humans, it generally ignores anything much larger than a coelacanth. Dimetrodon is one of the few carnivores on the island that would be classified as reasonably friendly in the wild. The sail on Dimetrodon's back is an especially fascinating thing. It can be angled to provide shade from the sun and allows Dimetrodon to disperse heat more quickly. The inner workings of the sail can also restrict blood flow to the creature to hold in excessive heat. Together, these two traits allow Dimetrodon to comfortably survive in any climate, though they are mostly found in the swamplands, which are prey rich. Domesticated. If Dimetrodon was a bit larger or didn't have a massive sail, it would make a decent mount. However, its main use to the survivors is to utilize the sail's insulating capabilities. Just being near Dimetrodon gives excellent protection from both heat and cold, which has saved my life throughout more than one ice blizzard in the frozen Northlands.
Fair enough. So yeah, it's an air conditioner.
Yeah.
Its use is pretty simple. It's a terrible guard dog. It has low attack. It can't turn at all, and it is super slow.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is entirely a utility creature.
and yet, it's even if it's just entirely utility, it hasn't been phased out like some other utility creatures. Due to power scaling definitely isn't real. What are you talking about? Um, it might be phased out with the introduction of the new bison, but that will be only on Ragnarok. And I don't even think Dimetrodon can spawn on Ragnarok.
I don't think there are any swamps, no.
No.
Also, it finally loaded to some degree.
God, is that pretty?
That is really
yeah,
good.
it's not letting me get a full-size image because
No,
of
you're not
course it
allowed.
isn't. But it's a really good Dimetrodon, and they
Yeah.
have different representatives of different species.
Which is
Actually,
really
there's
cool.
also a size of Dimetrodon. Right there. The Ark one is correct. Scroll down a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually the Ark one's actually small compared to that.
Well, yeah, no, you're right. I forgot the platforms are 2 meter. Well, are they 2 meters or 3 meters across?
3.
3 meters?
Okay, then the one in Ark is 6 meters, so it's too big.
Oh, yeah.
But the height's right. It's
That's right.
probably just the tail that makes it too
Yeah,
long.
and if we make the tail the correct size, it's probably correct.
Yeah, it's
It's
kind
but
of
I
cool.
believe that's. Oh, look, and there's Putty Heinrichs, the little.
Yeah.
I love him so much. Evil This is a frog. It's not actually a frog. It's an amphibian. Why? Why do you have a sail? Why do you do that? You're an amphibian. Why?
Focus.
They made it
Okay.
venomous in a new update, and it can fight you.
Yeah.
Focus,
Oh,
young
yes.
one.
Well, this isn't in game.
All right.
It isn't an arc, so I'm allowed
Well-
to rant about it. But yes, I
Well,
believe that's
at any
it.
rate, would we like to give this thing a rank?
I
Yes.
would like to because we need to record multiple videos today.
That is fair.
That is my
Would
opinion.
you like to go first then, Dom?
Yes, sure. Let me get into the. That's not what I wanted. I'm just getting the thing up. I think this is a neat design. One, I think it's a thing in Ark that we don't have, which is it actually became more useful with further updates. Like as Doc mentioned, this is a great egg setter. Basically, you have one of these, you have an Oviraptor and a Gigantoraptor.
Sorry, super duper quick.
Oop.
Not only is it a good space heater, you can increase its effectiveness by leveling its melee attack.
Yes, which is very cool. We've talked about Arc power scaling, which was the main video that we talked about it in. Which early
It was one of the earlier ones where we talked about creatures becoming outdated, out of existence.
was it? It wasn't Kentro, was it? Oh, it was Diplocalus.
Yes.
That's really funny actually. Yeah, but this is one of the times where an early creature was added because this was added with the swamp update, Dimetrodon, or was it right after? No, it was added with because it added with Beelzebub. No, right after because the swamp update was Beelzebub, Megalosaurus, and the wolf, and Direwolf, which shouldn't be a wolf, but regardless, we'll get to that if we roll Direwolf. I think it's good.
Yeah.
One, Dimetrodon, you have to add it to any prehistoric game. It's the most, in my opinion, iconic non-dinosaurian creature. It's more iconic than Mammoth, more iconic than Pteranodon. I think it is. Mammoth maybe it's fighting for, but Dimetrodon is so iconic. You need it in every game.
Even Mammoth?
I think it might be higher than Mammoth. I think. We'll see. Even though I like Mammoth more as a creature, but especially Ark. But yes, it's also a cool archified version. While the extra sails are dumb and stupid, in my opinion, that's better than like making it giant and kill everything.
That's fair.
It's
it's a predator that isn't aggressive too.
Yeah, it's friendly.
Kind of unique.
Which is very unique in Ark. Most things want to eat you. It being a space heater is very cool, and the fact that it hasn't been phased out is very cool. So I think this is an A, not S, because I still have gripes. I think it's an A.
All right. Gojira, would you like to go next?
Yes. Well, I don't hate it. Like, I think the basic silhouette, it is recognizable as Dimetrodon, but I don't know. It just kind of feels like a death of a thousand cuts situation, whereas the saggy tummy, the extra sails on the sides of it, and the way too long snout and even the iguana spines, it just kind of adds up and kind of makes it feel a little like it's trying too hard to be more badass when really you just have to use the original design and that's it. Like you
Yeah.
don't really need to give it more uh nuts and bolts. And honestly, I think it's a really sad missed opportunity that they left the sail completely bland. Like you could have the sail like have all sorts of patterns or colors and
Mm,
they just make it plain.
I
That's
yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
So again, I don't hate it, but I'm not a huge fan of it, so I'll probably give it a C.
Okay. Yeah.
That's fair. I think I'm kind of in between both of you. Like, if you just show me this thing, do I know it's a Dimetrodon? Yes, it's obviously a Dimetrodon. But with that said, they've incorporated so many lizard things into this design.
Hmm.
It it's a lizard with a Dimetrodon sail. It's a discount Arizonasaurus to me.
That's a good way to say it.
And like especially with the super sprawling gait, how slow it is, I don't think it's a good representation of the unique animal that Dimetrodon is. It's a really unique, really weird animal, and I think with just a few tweaks, I think you could bring this into an A grade design, but it doesn't hit that for me. Unfortunately, I think I have to banish it into the depths of B tier.
To be tier it goes like everything else.
To be or not to be.
It is a B.
Yep.
I would actually kind of say a low B.
And I would
Just
probably
as-
give it low A. Okay. Too.
I probably give like
Well,
a
no,
high
that
C.
gives it a low B.
Well, no, well, yeah. So I'm streaming
That's a
now.
C, a B minus, and an A.
Yeah, that's a low B, all right. So, do we think this is better than Kentro or Glowbug? Oh,
Glowbug, yes.
I wouldn't.
Kentro, I think Kentro's more useful. Kentro's a
Yeah,
good guard dog.
Why is
Kentro's
Ovis
better.
Why is Ovis not there? Hey, fucking put Ovis there.
What
Die.
did Ovis do to you?
Wow, it loses out to its natural prey animal.
It does. Because Diplocaulus look. I like Diplocaulus. Yeah. We were really
I like
nice
Diplocaulus.
early on, weren't we?
I wasn't.
No,
I
you
don't-
were.
I
No,
don't
you've gotten
think we
nicer.
were. We handed out a lot of B's early on.
Nothing's an F. How have we not ranked anything F?
Because
see.
Goodyear
We
wasn't
will.
put
Don't
in
worry.
Aria enough.
There is a
Because
creature that
you
I
two are
think
too
will-
nice.
Well, this exists. Anyways, let's spin the next one. God, you are cool as shit.
Yes.
I
Let
love the
us spin
Brachiosaurus.
the wheel.
This
Allow
is
me
I
to
wheel.
pick it up. Arkosaur wheel.
Whee!
Okay. Are we hoping
We.
this time?
I want Dinotherium, but
I
I'm
want
also...
Triceratops.
Triceratops could be really interesting.
Yeah, I did my poster for my vertebrate
prefer-
paleo course on ceratopsians, so
I think
I can-
Pachyrhinosaurus was more fun, but
Alright. Well, I'm hoping for a cool theropod. It's been a while.
we're gonna get
But this-
Manta knowing our luck, or saber-toothed salmon.
Could be
But
Terrorbird.
We've combined the fish together actually
And
for how we
it
agreed to this.
is.
Oh.
Fish!
Don't be lost
Okay.
here.
We almost got Beelzebufo, by the way.
We almost got Triceratops.
We did. Fish, guys! Battering
Cool
ram
fish.
fish. I don't like this design. But
Let me
It
take
is
a look at
sadly outdated.
it.
Well,
I don't
Hey, we get to talk about
I
how they
also-
shrunk the dunk.
how
I think
they
it's-
downgraded the dunk because classic dunk is better. Fight me.
The tuna dunk is funny. I like it, but maybe
Well, at any rate, folks,
it
if
has.
you want to
Why
see
do you have
us,
teeth?
if you want to see us either praise or tear apart an armored fish, arguably another one of the most iconic prehistoric creatures of all time,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
make
Yeah,
sure
no.
you do the YouTube things. Like, subscribe, share with a paleo-loving friend. Leave a comment telling us what you would rate our finny friend that we had just a minute
Fish.
ago. And we shall see you soon.
Yep.
Bye.